Welcome back to the Sail Savvy channel. I'm Magnus. Today we're taking a look at the Albin Vega, which is a contender in our frugal compact category. Perhaps not the very most pretty boat you ever saw, but I think the Vega pulls off a pretty good balance between practical and visually pleasing from this angle. And from this angle, I don't think that cockpit could be any nicer or better or roomier on a 27-foot ocean-worthy cruiser. Yeah, I said ocean-worthy. To illustrate that, we're going to head on over to Sailboat Data and take a look at the hull, the bottom, the keel, and the hull shape seen from above. The rather long, not very deep keel suggests a high degree of motion stability, while the narrow width or beam of the boat is part of a design to cut through waves rather than to bounce on top of the waves. And the way this boat tapers off towards the transom further enhances its ability to slice through bounces rather than bob up and down like a cork. So what does this mean in practical terms? Simply put, the boat is smaller inside. There's less space. That's the trade-off for the ability to cross oceans in some degree of safety and comfort. Let's head back to sailboatdata.com and take a closer look at the most important specs from a cruiser's perspective. The modest beam of just over 8 feet confirms that this boat was designed for motion, comfort, and ocean-worthiness rather than for lots of interior space. We'll circle back to displacement and ballast in a minute, but I'm really interested in the draft of the boat because when the nicest anchorage is packed with boats, and there's just no way that any of the typical boats can get in there and anchor, one with a shallower draft can get closer to shore where none of the other boats can go and anchor and actually enjoy better comfort and scenery than the ones a little bit further out. Meanwhile, on sailboatdata.com, we can see in the sailboat calculations section 2 important numbers, and one is the comfort ratio, which in this case is not that impressive, except that this is just a 27-foot boat, and the other is the capsize formula, and that's actually a very impressive number in this case. If you want to understand better what all these numbers mean, you can simply click on definitions to the top right next time you're on sailboatdata.com. These 2 numbers help me better understand the boat than the ratio between the ballast and the displacement. While we're on Sailboat Data, let's take a quick look at the layout. Immediately aft of the V-berth is the typical opposing head with a door and a storage closet, and immediately aft of that you have the equally typical 2 opposing settees. Out of the almost 3,500 boats made, only a few came with dinette seating as opposed to the settees. Personally, I quite prefer the dinette seating. It's a lot easier to sit and hold on when the waves are bad. But also, it's very easy to raise the seat up to the point where you can sit at the table and look out the port lights at eye height. These can be spotted for around $5,000 every now and then, but more commonly closer to $10,000. If what you need is an ocean-going, compact, frugal cruiser, or perhaps you just like to go sailing in rough conditions, the Albin Vega might just be the right choice for you. Don't miss our next episode focusing on the Colvik Countess. Until then, this is Magnus, standing by on the Sail Savvy channel.